Hey, my name is Larry Manley. I'm the Carolina Division Manager, and today I'm going to be speaking about how to promote, how to become a great promoter, and how to get attendance to events. So, when I think about this, I think about being able to basically sell your representatives on the benefit for them to be at the event. And so when you talk about being a promoter, there's several things you can do, right? Number one, plant seeds ahead of time. You want to build the anticipation for the event. So for example, let's say you're in training and the year-end awards banquet, the VCAs are coming up, or SC1 or SC2, or a big event. What you want to do is you want to start talking about that and incorporate and weave that in throughout training. For example, in the intro talk, I might say, hey, by the way, you guys are starting at a great time. You know, it's summer, it's fall, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Also, we have a huge event coming up called our SC1 conference. I'm going to tell you more details about it tomorrow, but it is unbelievable. It's coming up. Just so you know, mark this down in your calendar right now. Just jot this date down, June 11th. It is going to be awesome. You'll hear more about it later. So in general, I plant the seed. I start to lather it up a little bit where you start to build some anticipation for the event. Right? On day 2, for example, of training, I might say, hey, this SC1 conference is coming up. I know it's only mid-May, but I want you to mark this in your calendar now for June 11th. Block it off. If you're in summer school, get somebody to take notes for you. If you have another job, make sure you get that time off, because this is the event of the year. It's the event. It's like the Cutco playoffs. It is incredible. You want to increase your average order. You want to increase your sales percentage. Get more recommendations. Get more appointments. You have to be at this event. You'll hear more about it at team meetings as far as specific speakers, but just so you know, there's going to be people who have sold several hundred thousands of dollars worth of Cutco at this event. You know, our average order is $330. There's going to be people giving messages at this event that have a $5, $6, $7, even an $800 average order. Could you imagine hearing a workshop on increasing your average order, and it's from somebody that has an $800 average order? Like if they have a $600 sale, that's kind of bad. That's not good. So that's an example of how you would build it up ahead of time, right? Obviously, you want to also build up events as they get closer, and as you know, specific speakers. You want to always talk in terms of certainty, right? You want to talk about, hey, if you want to be successful, this is not an optional event, right? And just so you know, I'm only interested in working with people who want to be successful. If somebody doesn't really want to be successful, they're in the wrong place. They shouldn't even be here, right? So you want to definitely get this event down, all right? So, you know, you want to talk about, you know, like an SLDM. All right, we'll look at that. We'll look at an SC1. We'll look at a Sunday phone jam. How do you promote that? And we'll look at the Wednesday team meeting. Okay, so first of all, if I'm promoting a sales leadership development meeting, I would say this. I would say, hey, Mike representative, I want to invite you to something special. Okay, our division manager is running a sales leadership development meeting. It's on this date from this time. Let me tell you what he is going to be covering. He's going to be covering insights and inside information on the vector opportunity and the advancement ladder and how to progress, how to become a 5-star recruit while you're in school. So when you graduate, you get job offers from every company you interview with. He's going to be covering that. Okay? He's going to be covering inside info on how to advance with our company. He's going to talk about the assistant manager opportunity, the branch manager opportunity, even the CSP, Cutco sales professional opportunity, and the district manager opportunity. All right, so you're going to get more inside info on that. Then, right, he's personally responsible for over X millions dollars worth of Cutco. All right, now check this out. He's worked with all kinds of top sales reps. He sold a ton of Cutco personally. He's responsible for this many millions of dollars worth of Cutco sales. And he is going to be telling you advanced skills, teaching you advanced skills on how to be more efficient at the phone, how to get more recommendations on appointments, how to close a higher percentage of sales on your appointments, and how to raise your average order. Now, I know you've only been here a week and a half, or I know you've only been here 3 days, but this is a can't miss event, and check this out. You can only go to one of these this summer. In the summer, you're only allowed to go to one sales leadership development meeting. Now, for you're just getting started with this. If you can only attend one of these and get all this information, when do you think would be the best time to get this information to impact the rest of your summer? Yeah, right away. Okay, check this out. I'm going to reserve you a spot to be at this event this coming Tuesday from this time to this time. And I'm going to just tell you right now, when you shake our division manager's hand, it's like you make more money automatically. It's going to be that type of an event. So I wanted to share that with you and make sure you have that blocked in your schedule. Are you psyched about going to this? I mean, is this something you want to learn? Do you want to grow? Okay. Make sure you take great notes. Make sure you come prepared. Always arrive with 5 or more demos, etc., etc. Okay. So, it's all about, having detailed information, and your job as a leader is to get people from event to event, from one team meeting to an SODM, from training to an SODM, to a team meeting, to SC1. And, one thing that's really important as leaders, you have to care about your people enough to fight to get them to events. I've had times where I've called and talked to parents to get them to a conference. Like, you have to care about them enough where you want to have them at an event. One of the worst feelings you can have as a leader and as a district manager, branch manager, division manager, is when you're at a big event like an SC1 or an SC2 or VCAs, right? Like our 3 signature events of the year, CFC. When you're there and you see a big countdown going on, or you see a workshop that's just blowing people away, it's awesome. And you don't have as many representatives there as you should have. And in my opinion, if they have a sample kit, they need to be at the event. If they have a kit, they need to be there. And I remember my first conference cost, I don't know, $100, $200. And it was an SC1 conference. It was a one-nighter back 30 years ago and 31 years ago. And my manager made me go. I said, I don't think I can afford to go. He said, no, you cannot afford not to go. You can't afford not to be there. You have to be there. I was like, well, I don't know if I can afford it. He goes, do you want to be successful? And I go, yeah. He goes, then you're going to be there. Let's find a way. It's not an option. You have to be there. And so, that's always the attitude I've taken. So, in general, here's how you do this, all right? You plant seeds early. You build anticipation. You build value before you cover the price or the time investment. Always build value first, okay? So, for example, that was an example of an SLDM. Let me talk about Sunday phone time and how to really build that up, or Wednesday night phone time, okay? So, we have our PSP meetings on Sundays. We have our Wednesday team meetings, okay? These are our 2 signature events each week. Let me explain first of all what the Sunday PSP is. It's a paycheck scheduling phone jam meeting. Okay. Now, in training, you want to build this up, right? And I think there's another video on setting expectations in training. What I want to do is I want to share with you, how do you build this up to your current representatives? All right. I might say this. I might say, hey, representatives, we're at a team meeting or it's one-on-one. Hey, how would you like to get off to a phenomenal start to your week? How would you like to be at 1,000 or 2,000 CPO by our Wednesday night team meeting? Okay. Here's how you do it. You take advantage of our Sunday PSP, paycheck scheduling phone jam. Think about it. Especially in the fall. Sunday nights, that's arguably the best night to make phone calls because everybody's at home getting ready for their work week. I say especially in the fall because kids aren't out doing the sports as much on a Sunday night, weekend soccer tournaments, stuff like that. Right? They don't have as many of those going on in the fall and in the winter, in the spring. So when you think about a great phone night, I'm talking about Sunday night is one of the best nights to reach people. And so our representatives, they come in on Sundays, and if you haven't been taking advantage of this, even from 7 to 9, you can knock out 50 phone calls and book up several demos for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now in the summer, I'm going to promote Century Club Sundays and make it 100 plus calls. And all of our top representatives do that in the summer. Our top representatives are jamming hard every Sunday. Right? But you want to build up the benefits. Hey, you want to make a couple $100 before Wednesday, the first couple days of the week? Phone jam Sunday night. Make sure you get your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday booked up, ready to go. All right. On Wednesdays, all of our representatives come in at 5, 6, 6:30, 7 at the latest to phone jam. This is if you have a structure where it's a phone jam and then a team meeting. Your structure may be a little bit different, but I'm building it up. Hey, when's the best times to sell Cutco? Weekends. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's the best times. Wednesday night's a great night to get those demos booked, because if you don't get them all booked up, you have a backup phone time on Thursday ready to go. And that's why we have our team meetings on Wednesday, right? If your team meetings aren't on Wednesday night. All of our representatives are coming in anyway. See, I don't care where you book up your demos from, as long as you get all your demos booked. So all representatives are coming in on Wednesday anyway. So they just come in early. They do a phone jam. It's a team culture. We have a team goal. We have contests. We have free Cutco. We have tickets, etc. So a lot of it's your enthusiasm, your energy level, how you build up, the phone jam, right? The culture, right? How you become a great promoter is through excitement, energy, enthusiasm, selling them on the benefits of it. Selling them on the benefits of it. All right. This is under the event attendance section as well. So in a few minutes, I'm also going to talk about how to have some promotional combos for development purposes. Right. But team meetings. It is our event of the week. Our representatives never miss a team meeting. If you have another job, make sure you're off on Wednesday nights. All right. If you have church, make sure you're out of there by 8:30, 8:45. All right. Nobody ever misses a team meeting. All right. And by the way, when I was a representative, I never missed a team meeting. Not one time. One time I was sick, I went anyway. I called up my manager. I was like, I'm sick. I got an ear infection in one ear. And the doctor said I had a double ear infection in the other ear. I don't even know what that means. But I knew I didn't feel good. And my manager said, hey, you know what, Larry? You can come to the meeting and learn stuff to help you make more money, and you'll actually feel better being in that positive work environment. Or you can sit at home and feel sorry for yourself. You may as well come to the meeting. So unless they're contagious, I want them at the meeting. Unless they have like the flu or mono or strep or something like that. All right? No excuses. I let them know. No excuses for the team meetings. Now, some managers do, hey, give me a week notice if you have a concert or something like that. And as long as I have a week notice, that's fine. And I don't over promote that, but I don't mind that. That's fine. But I just know if a representative misses a meeting, they have 1 foot out the door of the business. 1 foot's out the door. So I want to make sure we maximize attendance at our team meetings, and that's there, 100% of the time. So, that's a little bit as far as promotion goes of a team meeting. Let's talk a little bit about like an SC1, SC2, right, event, a VCAs, especially when there's cost involved. You have to build value. So what you want to do is you want to get the agenda ready, you want to get speaker bio info ready, and you want to paint the vision, paint the picture of what an incredible event it's going to be. You want to start with, we're going to meet at the office at this time. We're going to carpool together. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be, phone jamming for orders on the way. It's going to be an incredible event. We're going to get to the venue. Then we're going to go eat food and get some food. Then we're going to reconvene. You're going to meet. Check this out. Check out the agenda. Who's on the agenda? You want to go through each speaker. You want to build up their career sales, their average order, what the topics of the workshops are going to be. And you want to do something like this. You want to say, hey guys and gals, check this out. Right? This guy has a $1,000 order. This girl has an $800 average order, $1,000 average order. The workshop is going to be on selling sets of Cutco sets and raising your average order. What if your average order only went up $50? $50, that's it. $50, that's less than enough. If your average order went up $50 and you had, let's just say, 7 orders a week, that's $350 a week extra you sell that you wouldn't have sold. You do that over 10 weeks, that's $3,500 extra dollars that you wouldn't have sold. Do you realize that that's on top of your sales, meaning it's at the highest commission level? Let's just say that's at 30%. Do you realize that's $1,050 extra dollars in your pocket that you wouldn't have had by not being, if you didn't get invited to this event? So when I say a can't miss event, when I say it's not optional, if you want to be successful, it's not even an option. That's what I'm talking about. You're talking about an extra $1,000 in income. Do you have an extra $1,000 you can just throw on the ground and leave out of your pocket? Heck, I'll take it. I mean, that's a minimum. That doesn't count all the other workshops. Let me tell you what else is on the agenda. All right, so you want to build value, right? Build value, right? You want to build FOMO, right? Fear of them missing out. You want to talk about the fun. It's part rock concert, part business meeting, right? Or part concert, part fun party, part business meeting. We're going to have, a DJ. We're going to have music. It's awesome, right? And you want to build up how incredible the event's going to be. All right. Now, when it comes to, not necessarily event attendance, but promotion. Let me share with you just in a few minutes how I would talk at a team meeting about the sales rep opportunity, and then how I would talk about the branch manager opportunity. Okay. First of all, if I'm at a team meeting, every team meeting I run, I want to make sure that I'm selling the representatives on why it's worth their time to be there. So I might say, hey guys and gals, can you imagine how much better of a communicator you're going to be in 6 months? How much more confidence you're going to have? How much more poise you're going to have? How much better you're going to be at future job interviews? Right? How much more better of a public speaker you are? Think about it. Think about how much better is your presentation now than your first presentation. All right? Do you guys remember your first presentation? Yeah, it was pretty bad, wasn't it? Let me tell you something, just so you know, it was worse than what you remember it. It was worse than that. Thank God we have Cutco. Thank God Cutco sells itself, because it wasn't very good. Matter of fact, it was pretty bad. Right? Like you couldn't find your pen, it's under the red cloth, and you're trying to follow your manual. Right? Think about how much better you got now. Some of you have only been here a week, 2 weeks, 3, 4 weeks. Imagine 6 months from now. Imagine a year. You're going to develop your communication skills at such a level. How about the ability you're starting to develop now of reading people? How about the ability to connect and build rapport with adults? Those are the same type of people who are going to be interviewing you when you graduate college. So, don't underestimate the power of what you're learning here, of the skills you're developing here, right? And the power of becoming a 5-star recruit, right? And then you can go through the whole 5-star recruit talk. But that's just one example of how I want to promote the rep opportunity, right? I'm going to promote building up the resume, right? Then the next team meeting, I might promote the income opportunity more. All right, and I might show them a vision of the next 6 months or the next year, how much income they can make the next year, right? When they're at 30% or 40% or 50% . So, I'm always promoting to them why it's worth it to be here, because I want to give them ammunition for when they face tough times. Okay. For time's sake, I'm just going to be very brief with the branch manager opportunity. Just take the leap. Leadership, right? Experience, adventure, right? Taking the leap, right? What you want to do there is you want to talk about, I like to do this more one-on-one with people, one-on-one promotion, and I'll say something like, hey, you've sold X amount, where do you see yourself in a year, 2 years? And then I like to use the phrase, have you ever thought about being a branch manager? I think you could be a really good branch manager. I know you've only sold 6K or 3K or 10K, but let me explain why I think you could be really good. And then I like to then just tell them what I like about them, what I like about their skills, their personality, their work ethic, and just why I think they could be good. And then I like to explain and simplify, the branch, depending on what level they're at, I'll simplify the branch opportunity, right? I'll talk about, leadership, experience, adventure, personal growth, right? And I'll say, what a branch manager does is basically teaches people how to sell Cutco. It's not rocket science. We have a management training program. We have a leadership academy where we train them what to do. But could you imagine being the boss? Could you imagine being the CEO of your own company? That's what a branch gets to do. How cool would it be to have your own receptionist? Could you imagine going back to school and they're like, what'd you do this summer? And, around the class, and people are like, oh, I worked at Walmart, and I worked at the camp counselor, and I did this. And you're like, well, I ran my own company. I was the CEO of my own company, had a few receptionists, recruiting assistants, and I basically interviewed and trained and developed a sales force of 15 people that worked with me, etc. So anyways, I just wanted to mention that because you really should be thinking about that. That's something that, next summer, I know you just started a month ago, but next summer, you could actually be running your own branch office. You could be actually running interviews. By the way, can you imagine when we teach you how to run interviews, how good you're going to be at running interviews? And then could you imagine once you graduate college going on interviews and knowing that you probably interviewed more people than they have? Can you imagine how much more confidence that gives you? So, Eastern region, that's just some tips on how to promote, how to become a great promoter, how to promote different events, the importance of getting attendance at events, and I hope this helps you out. I'll see you at a future event.